What is up, boys? What's up? Wednesday, big slate today. I'm excited to talk through this slate with you guys. I'm excited to break everything down. We're gonna answer all your questions over the next 30 to 35 minutes. Just kind of talk through this slate and break it all down. We did get news on LeBron, which was kind of the big news we were waiting on for today. LeBron is out, so we saw what happened last night with LeBron out. We kind of know who benefits, but we do have Anthony Davis questionable as well. So it's going to be tough. Like, I think if Anthony Davis plays, he's obviously a really good option. We don't know when we're going to get that news. We don't know if he's going to play or not. But obviously Russell Westbrook is a top play today. I see T-Bone already asking, is Russ chalk tonight? I mean, yeah, Russ is going to be, in my opinion, probably the highest owned stud play on this slate. He'll probably be higher owned than Giannis if I had to guess. I mean, everyone saw what Russ did last night with LeBron out, and now LeBron's out again and AD's questionable. So yeah, Russ is he's a top play, but I think he's going to be chalky. I'm going to eat that chalk, though. I mean, I was on Russ last night. I'm going to play him again tonight, without a doubt. What's up, Go? Let's get it. Need another good night like last night? Hey, let's get it, Suave. Let's get it, my man. Last night, it was decent for me. I still had some misses. Like, I hit on a lot of good plays. I had AD and Westbrook. I was on Deontay Murray, but, Keldon Johnson killed me. Fucking Derek White killed me. I played Jay Sean Tate on Draftkings in my main lineup, just as a last piece, and he was god-awful. I mean, I hit on a lot of good plays last night, but I still had some guys just shit the bed, man. That's kind of how it's been this NBA season for me. Like, even when I have nights where I hit on a lot of good plays, there's still guys that just bring it all down. It's been frustrating, but we'll get with it, man. There's going to be a night at some point where it's all going to click, I would say. I'm on Yahoo today. I have Westbrook, Monk, Ja, Bane, Miles Bridges, Jaylen Brown, Adams, and Laurie. I think that's pretty solid, Jake. I mean, Ja, I like a lot on Yahoo. He's way too cheap there. Obviously, Westbrook, Monk are good plays. Bane, I like for value, too. And then Bridges, Brown, Adams, Laurie. I mean, Laurie marketing, I don't know if I'd be playing on this slate with 10 games, but that's a solid lineup still. What's up, Didi? Top 3 studs? For me, I mean, Westbrook clearly is the top stud, I think. Giannis. And then third, I mean, if we knew AD was going to play, I might say AD. But there's a lot of guys you could go to, honestly. But definitely Westbrook and Giannis are my two favorite studs for sure. I think they'll both be popular, but hard not to like them on this slate, in my opinion. What's up? Great to see you. Let's get it. Hey, let's get it, Dylan. Let's get it, my man. What's up, Noah? Back to start the new season. Let's get this chicken. Let's get it, Bryce. Let's get it, my man. What up, Noah? What you think better tournament or double up for cash? Should I play Ja Morant? On DraftKings, I think Ja is probably a tournament play. I don't think I'd be playing Ja in cash on DraftKings. But on Yahoo, if you play on Yahoo, Ja is underpriced over there. So you could definitely play him in cash on Yahoo. VanVleet or Bridges? That's close, Suave. Give me Miles Bridges. I mean, I think Miles Bridges, his production's going to come down at some point. Like, he's not going to continue to put up 45, 50 DraftKings points every single night. But I think while Terry Rozier's out, while PJ Washington's out, Miles Bridges is going to play a ton of minutes, and he's going to get opportunity. So I think he's still in play for me. Value under 4K. I would say my favorite value right now, he's going to be popular, but Malik Monk for 3,700. He started last night in place of LeBron. He's going to most likely start again. I mean, he played big minutes last night. He's going to play big minutes again. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite value right now. He's going to be high owned, but I'm fine eating that chalk. There's definitely a lot of good chalk on this slate, I think. I think Westbrook's good chalk. I think Monk's good chalk. Giannis, I think, is good chalk as well. Should be enough value to stack Russ, Ja, and Giannis on Yahoo. Yeah, you can definitely make that work, T-Bone. I've been kind of tinkering with a bunch of lineups so far, and yeah, you can easily fit Russ, Ja, and Giannis on Yahoo without a doubt. You like running the Lakers game back with SGA or Giddey? I like both SGA and Giddey. I think both are underpriced on DraftKings. SGA is only 7-1, and Giddey is like 4,800. I mean, yeah, I like both those guys. SGA definitely is way too cheap today. I mean, he was 8,100 yesterday, and for some reason, DraftKings dropped him down to 7,100 today. And same with Giddey. I mean, Giddey was 5,800 yesterday, and he's 4,800 today. Like, both those guys got big price decreases for some reason. I don't really know why. Thoughts on Jaylen Brown on Yahoo? I think Jaylen Brown's in play on Yahoo just, given that you have to play at least one small forward. If I'm going to a small forward, like in this mid-range, Jaylen Brown would probably be my first pick. Between him or Brandon Ingram, I'd probably side with Jaylen Brown. I think on Yahoo, for me at small forward, if you can't pay up for Paul George or KD, then I think Jaylen Brown's probably your next best option, or go cheat with a guy like Desmond Bane, who's really, really cheap on Yahoo. And Desmond Bane's been getting big minutes, man. He's been playing 30 minutes a night. He's been productive too, and he's still really cheap on Yahoo. So that's kind of where I'd be going as small forward, I think. LaMelo or Middleton? Give me LaMelo. I like LaMelo a lot in tournaments. I think LaMelo's going to be low owned. He was low owned last slate, and he had a decent game. He could have had a way better game though. Like, he got into foul trouble last game. I don't know why LaMelo's not playing like as many minutes as some other guys. Like, he's not getting 35, 36 minutes. He's only been playing like 29, 30 minutes. I don't think that continues though rest of season. Like, I think LaMelo's gonna get back to like 32, 34 minutes a night. So when LaMelo finally starts to get big minutes, man, he's going to have some big games. And especially without Rozier, he's going to get a lot of opportunity. The ball's going to be in his hands a ton. LaMelo is one of those guys that has like triple-double upside. He can put up 55, 60 DK points any night. Can't remember last time I seen Howard play a full game, though. Talk about Dwight Howard. Yeah, Dwight Howard, I mean, if AD's out, like, Dwight Howard is he's a good value. I mean, without AD and without LeBron, like, they're going to have to play a center for 48 minutes. The reason DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard don't get a ton of minutes is just because they can play AD at center and they don't have to play those guys. But if AD's out, yeah, they're probably going to play 48 minutes of Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. Dwight Howard, I think, would be a really good value if AD's out. Even if he wouldn't start, but even if he comes off the bench, I still like him. Best value today, I mean, I like Malik Monk for value. He's going to be popular, but that's chalk I'm fine eating. He should start once again with LeBron out. And if AD's out too, I mean, that's just more usage to go around. Would be even better for Monk, most likely. Thinking if I can fit Russ, Ja, Jalen, and Joval in. On Yahoo, yeah, you could definitely do that price. Again, like the pricing on Yahoo is always very soft. You can always go stars and scrubs there. So yeah, if you want to play those 4 guys in one lineup, you can definitely make it work on Yahoo. Morant, Lillard, or Trey, what do you think? You can't go wrong with any of those 3. I think I would take Morant, man, but God, like, that's so close. Like, all 3 of those guys have a lot of upside. I think the game environment, I mean, it's a good game environment, honestly, in all 3 of those games. The Memphis-Portland game should be super high scoring. The Pelicans-Hawks game should be pretty high scoring as well. It's definitely a good spot for Trey. The Pelicans, they're a pretty fast-paced team. I think I would take Morant, but man, you can't go wrong with any of those guys, honestly. Nets Bruce Brown could be a sneaky at almost 30 minutes per game with 3.7K price. Yeah, Bruce Brown, he started last game, and he did play 30 minutes. He wasn't very productive, like, I will say that. He played 30 minutes, but he only put up like 17 Draftkings points. But if Bruce Brown starts again, I think he will play like close to 30 minutes. Bruce Brown's not a great per-minute player, but if you need the value, I think he's totally fine. Now, if he doesn't start, I wouldn't play him because you just don't really have any idea how many minutes he plays if he comes off the bench. But if he's confirmed starting, I think Bruce Brown is playable. Thoughts on Austin Reeves? Yeah, so Austin Reeves, I mean, he played 30 minutes last night. He really hasn't shown like that he can really be productive on a point per minute basis. I mean, I don't know much about Austin Reeves, but just so far this year when he's been on the floor, like, he hasn't really been a great point per minute player. What I know about him is he's mainly like scoring dependent. He's not really going to get rebounds or assists. He's kind of just like a 3-point shooter. He's one of these guys that could get hot and could put up, a decent game. I don't think you need to go that cheap though, honestly. Like, if you're going to look for a punt play that low, I would probably just play Rondo, honestly. I played Rondo yesterday. He was super, super low owned. I think he'll be super low owned again. He played 20 minutes, had 16 DK points. Rondo, we know, when he's on the floor, he's gonna be productive. Rondo can do a little bit of everything. 3,100. If he plays like 20 minutes, I think I'd play Rondo. I think I'd take 20 minutes from Rondo over 30 minutes from Austin Reeves, if that makes sense. Just with how much more productive Rondo is on a per minute basis. Thoughts on Davion Mitchell? I think Davion Mitchell's in play. I think there's better value on the slate now. Like, I think the Lakers give us some good value. I don't know if we're going to need to go to Davion Mitchell, but if you're playing a lot of lineups, I would still have him in my player pool. It seems like he's going to consistently get minutes on a nightly basis for this Kings team. He's played at least 24 minutes in all 3 of their games. He's closed the last 2 games. He's played over 30 minutes the last 2 games. He's another scoring-dependent player. But as you saw last game, when he's making shots, he can put up, 29, 30 DK points. So, yeah, I think Davion Mitchell, he's a riskier value, but I think he is in play at 4,200. I liked him a little bit more last night than I do now, just because, now we have some better value with the Lakers guys. And potentially even more value if Anthony Davis gets ruled out. Is Batum in play with Marcus Morris out? Appreciate the help. Absolutely, I think Batum is in play. Batum didn't play a ton of minutes last game, but I don't want to look too much into that because it was a big-time blowout. I don't think he played at all in the fourth quarter. He did start in place of Marcus Morris, and I'm assuming with Morris out again, Batum starts again. If this game is close against Cleveland, which is a big if, but if this game is close, I think we do get like 28, 30 minutes from Batum, and he's still really cheap on DraftKings. So, yes, Batum is in play for me. Outside of like Malik Monk, I mean, there's not a ton of great value below 4K. So a guy like Batum that's going to play probably 30 minutes is definitely on my radar. He's projecting for a good amount of ownership, but I mean, I think he's still in play, even though he will be somewhat popular. I mean, right now he's projected for 39% ownership. Nicholas Batum is, which is pretty high, but I think he's still playable. How do we feel about Bam? Do you have his ownership? I assume Bam will be really low owned. Yeah, Bam's coming in with 7% ownership on DK. I mean, Bam against Brooklyn, that's definitely a good spot. Brooklyn's never been a team that's great defensively against big men. I don't think really anyone on Brooklyn, whether it's Claxton or Aldridge, whoever they put on Bam, I mean, nobody's going to stop Bam. So he's a good tournament play. He'll be really low owned. I think I'd rather play Joe Val if I'm going to play a center in that price range. Joe Val is a guy that I'm always interested in. He has so much upside, and he's getting good minutes with this Pelicans team so far this year. So me personally, I would play Joe Val over Bam, but I think Bam's still playable, and he will be low owned. I think Joe Val will be low owned too. Let me see where Joe Val's ownership is. Yeah, Joe Val's also projecting for 7% ownership. So, I mean, straight up there, I'd take Joe Val, honestly. What's up, Chris? What's up, my man? Luke Kennard. I don't think I'm going to go to Luke Kennard on this slate. I just don't think it's necessary. Again, we have 10 games. There's some other value you can go to. Luke Kennard only played 24 minutes last game. He shot the lights out. I mean, 80% from the field, 85% from three. Like, the dude literally couldn't miss last game. So, I don't like chasing those kind of performances. Like, I don't like playing a guy after he comes off a great shooting game because those are just those are things that can regress, in one day. Like, Luke Kennard's not going to shoot 80% from the field every game. He'll still get, his 20 to 22 minutes, but you're going to need him to shoot the lights out like he did last game. I'll just bank on that not happening. Because Luke Kennard, outside of scoring, he's not going to do much with, rebounds and assists. Off topic, Joker looked like he was about to drop 100 DK points yesterday. Yeah, dude, if you played Joker yesterday, I feel so bad for you because Joker was literally going to smash, and he was pretty low owned too. And he freaking got injured, man. I think he had like 40-something at halftime. I didn't play Joker, but yeah, if you play Joker, I feel for you. Middleton and Jaylen Brown or SGA and Brogdon? Man, that's a close one, Dylan. I think I would say SGA and Brogdon, but that's so close. I like both sides of that, honestly. If Portis plays and starts, do you like him? We're going to have to wait and see, Edward. We're going to have to wait and see like what kind of minutes limit he's going to be on. I don't know if we'll even get information on that. Like, I'd assume that if Bobby Portis starts, that he plays at least like 20 minutes, maybe more. Right now, the projections I use have him projected for 25 minutes. I don't know if he plays 25 minutes. But if he's starting, that makes me feel a lot better about him. If he comes off the bench, that makes Bobby Portis a lot more risky. Just, you never know how many minutes a guy's going to play when he's coming off the bench, especially when it's his first game back. But if he's starting, that kind of makes me somewhat confident they want to give him like at least 20-ish minutes. So I'm just going to wait and see what the Bucks starting lineup is. And if Portis does start, I think he is a good value. We know Bobby Portis, when he gets minutes, man, he can be really, really productive. He's a point-per-minute player. You play any Yahoo DFS? I do, Tyler. I do. I play on Yahoo and DraftKings. And I play on FanDuel as well, just not as often. But DraftKings and Yahoo are the two main sites I play on. And Prize Picks as well. Any Scotty Barnes love tonight? Probably not for me. I think he's priced about right on DraftKings. He's going to play big minutes, but he's 6K now. Like, I don't think Scotty Barnes is nearly as good of a play now as he was when he was like 4,500. When he was 4,500, he was a really good value. Now that he's 6K, he's whatever. I mean, I don't have that much interest in Scotty Barnes at 6K, I'll be honest. Also, value plays on Yahoo. Noah, Nasir Little, Hartenstein. Do you think these are sneaky GP plays? I think Nasir Little is a good play if Norman Powell is out again. We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, Nasir Little's been starting over or in place of Norman Powell lately with Norman Powell out. So if Norman Powell does miss again, I think Little's in play. Hartenstein, I don't think I'd be playing Hartenstein on a big slate like this. I just think you're probably getting too cute there. I don't even know what Hartenstein's doing. I know last game, if he did do well, it's probably because of the blowout. I mean, yeah. What's the ceiling on Isaiah Hartenstein, to be honest? Like, what? He's going to play a max of 18 minutes? Yeah, I just wouldn't play Hartenstein. But Little, I do like if Norman Powell is out. Beverly, 3,800 on DK. You talking about Patrick Beverly? I haven't even looked at Patrick Beverly, I'll be honest with you. I mean, yeah, Patrick Beverly is just someone I really never play. I never played him at all, like when he was with the Clippers. I haven't even considered him this year with the Pelicans, or with the Timberwolves, excuse me. I mean, Patrick Beverly probably plays like 20 minutes. I doubt he averages a fantasy point per minute like he has been. I wouldn't play Patrick Beverly on this slate, to be honest with you. That's another guy that just, like, you have to look and think, like, what is his actual upside? Any love for Tillman? Talking about Xavier Tillman? I mean, yeah, no, I don't know why you would be playing Xavier Tillman. He got 22 minutes against the Lakers, but then he got a DNP, I think. Or he did. So he played against the Lakers, but I'm pretty sure he's been out of the rotation every other game. I mean, I wouldn't play Xavier Tillman. He's been like he was out of the rotation to start the season. So even though he played 22 minutes last game, I don't think it's a guarantee that he plays 22 minutes again. Again, like those are the kind of guys I just don't play on a 10-game slate. I don't think you need to do that. What's your top Yahoo plays today? I mean, I can't give out too much for free, Tyler. If you want my core plays and all that, that's on Patreon. You can check that out, link down below. But a couple guys I like on Yahoo, like Westbrook, I think is a really good option. I think Ja's way too cheap on Yahoo. I like Malik Monk for value. Those are a few guys I like on Yahoo, but I can't give out a ton, man. Just hope you understand. Got to save some stuff for the Patreon members. I'm going Precious over Scotty on FanDuel. If they're the same price tag, I would probably play Scotty Barnes. But if Achua's a lot cheaper, then yeah, I mean, I'd take Achua there. But if they're the same price tag, I probably would just take Scotty Barnes. Because Scotty Barnes will play more minutes than Achua will. Although I do still like Precious Achua. Connaughton or Carmelo is a last man in. With LeBron out, I prefer Carmelo. I was on Carmelo on Yahoo yesterday, and he was terrible. I mean, Carmelo was so bad yesterday. But I'm going to be back on him again. I mean, I think Carmelo is still a pretty good play. And he'll be super, super low owned, especially after he busted yesterday. Those are the kind of guys I like playing. You know, when a guy's chalk and he busts, I love playing those guys, you know, the next slate when nobody's going to play him. Knowing my man, I love Joval tonight. Hey, I like Joval as well. I mean, Joval's someone I always have interest in. Joval's just such a productive player on a point per minute basis. And Joval's been getting big minutes with the Pelicans so far this year. He's been playing like 35, 36 minutes, which is something we haven't seen from him, you know, really when he was on other teams. When he was on the Raptors, when he was on Memphis, he just never played that many minutes. He didn't play like 36 minutes like he has been with the Pelicans so far. It's my first time tuning in. Hey, well, I appreciate you tuning in, Tyler. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Thoughts on Franz Wagner? I think Wagner's a viable, cheap option. He's been getting good minutes for the Magic so far this year. His price is coming up now. I mean, he's 4,800, so he's not like a glaring value to me. But he's going to play probably over 30 minutes. And Charlotte, it's a good matchup against Charlotte. Charlotte's been playing really fast this year. I think Wagner's playable, but he's not like a glaring value or someone I have a lot of interest in. Elfrid Payton, 3K for value. I mean, I haven't even considered Elfrid Payton. I think last game he might have benefited from the blowout. He played 25 minutes last game, but it was a massive blowout, and that's the only game he's played in this season. So yeah, I would not be playing Elfrid Payton. I think you don't want to play guys who get a lot of minutes from a blowout, because rarely is that going to happen again, like in back-to-back games, unless you're just hoping for a blowout if you play them. How about Giddey? I think Giddey is a pretty solid value on DraftKings. His price came way down. Him and SGA both got priced down a little bit, $1,000. I mean, 4,800 for Giddey is probably too cheap if we're expecting, low 30s, mid 30s minutes. And again, the Lakers, another team that's been playing really fast this year. They haven't been nearly as good defensively. So I do have some interest in Josh Giddey on DraftKings for sure, especially since that price came down to 4,800. Favorite forward under 6.6K. My first pick there would probably be OG. If you're picking a forward in that price range, I would take OG, I think. Good stream. Hey, appreciate that, Pat Nasty. Appreciate that, my man. What about Zubac? Yeah, Zubac, I think, does benefit with Marcus Morris out, and I think Zubac's kind of a sneaky GPP play. I don't think anyone plays Zubac today. And he got 25 minutes last game, and that was with him not playing at all in the fourth quarter. So he could have actually played like 30 minutes, had the game stayed close. Cleveland does play pretty big. They usually have like Jared Allen or Evan Mobley or Kevin Love on the floor at all times. Zubac is a productive player when he gets minutes, so I think he's a pretty good, like, super, super low on tournament play. Zubac's going to be like, he'll be less than 5% owned if I had to guess. Let me see. Yeah, Zubac's coming in with 4% ownership on DraftKings. I think that's a good tournament play for sure. He'll be very low owned. And I think no Marcus Morris does help him because, without Marcus Morris, they can't run like those small ball lineups where they play Marcus Morris at the 5. I love Melton with Brooks still out. Yeah, DeAnthony Melton's definitely in play for sure. He's going to be pretty popular, I think. He's projecting for a lot of ownership right now, but I still do have a good amount of interest in DeAnthony Melton. He's been starting and playing good minutes, and he's always been a productive player when he does get minutes. Grayson Allen or Malik Monk? I think I would take Malik Monk now. I still do have some interest in Grayson Allen, but I think Monk is a better value now that LeBron's out. I think Elfrid Payton played because Cameron Payne was out. That is possible. I'll be honest, I didn't even consider Elfrid Payton last slate. Is Payne out again? Payne's out again, so maybe, yeah, I guess that's why. But I don't think I'd be going to Elfrid Payton on this slate, to be honest with you. On Yahoo, what are your thoughts on Graham? Devontae Graham, I do have a good amount of interest in Devontae Graham. I would say if you're going a little bit cheaper at point guard, he's probably one of the better options. There isn't a ton of value at point guard. I think point guard's a position on Yahoo you're going to want to try and spend up for guys like Westbrook, LaMelo I like, John Morant's way too cheap, SGA. I think you're going to want to be playing some of these guys at the top, but if you are going a little bit cheaper, I think Devontae Graham is a pretty good option at $18. He played like 36 minutes last game, 38 minutes actually. And he's played at least, 30 minutes just about every single game this year with the Pelicans. So, yeah, I think Devontae Graham is for sure in play. I'm new to DFS. Why do you prefer DraftKings over FanDuel? I can't tell you really. I played on DraftKings really ever since I could legally play there. And I just enjoyed their format. I played on FanDuel too as well. But I think DraftKings just seems to have like the content for DraftKings is better, I guess. Like people, you don't see as many people like doing FanDuel specific videos as you do DraftKings. And I'm gonna try and whatever sites I make videos on, I want to be playing on those sites. So I'm not gonna make FanDuel videos if I'm not playing every day on FanDuel. Will Anthony Davis play tonight? We don't know yet. I think he plays, but that's just me guessing, honestly. He's still questionable. But we do know LeBron is out. That came out earlier. LaMelo Ball is a lock tonight. Dude, I already know so I played LaMelo Ball last slate, and he still did pretty well, but he got into foul trouble. He could have had a way better game. I already know if I don't play LaMelo tonight, he's going to put up like 55 and just tilt the fuck out of me. And if I do play LaMelo, he'll probably get in foul trouble again like he has every time I've played him. So if I don't play LaMelo tonight, or if LaMelo puts up like 60 tonight, just assume I didn't play him. Great call in that Laker game last night. I cashed a little just to cash is big. Thank you, bro. Great luck tonight. Hey, good luck to you as well, Martin. Yeah, the Lakers game, man, you had to have it. It went to overtime. All the chalk was in that game. Deontay crushed, Westbrook crushed, AD crushed, Malik Monk crushed. Like you had to have those guys last night, especially with how popular they were. Rozier just got ruled out. Yeah, that's not surprising. He was doubtful. He was not expected to play anyway. So I don't really think that matters. I wasn't expecting Rozier to play anyway. Tatum a lot for me tonight. I like his matchup. It's definitely a good matchup for Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I will say that Washington Washington has been a little bit better defensively this year. I don't know if that continues the entire season, but they have improved on the defensive end. But I still think playing Washington is going to be a good matchup. So, yeah, definitely Tatum and Jaylen Brown make sense in tournaments. They're both going to be pretty low owned, I would assume. Thoughts on Ja, Monk, Bane, Nasir Little, Achua, SGA, OG, and Westbrook? I think that's pretty solid, John. I like that lineup a good amount. I think it's pretty solid. Portis or Dort on DK in the FanDuel spot, or in the forward spot? I would say Portis if he starts. If Portis doesn't start and he comes off the bench, then I would take Dort. Brown over Tatum every time. Diehard C's fan here. Brown's been crushing this year. He's been great, but Tatum's been playing well too. I mean, both those guys have kind of benefited from like their games going overtime, but they've been crushing, and they should continue to with them dominating the usage. Steven Adams at 5,300 seems like a solid play. I do have some interest in Steven Adams. Now, Steven Adams is not a player that has like massive slate breaking upside, but he's definitely underpriced if we continue to expect him to play like 35 minutes a night. And so far, with Memphis, he's been consistently getting like 30, 35 minutes a night. So I'm assuming that continues. I live in Europe, so might be in bed before the Anthony Davis news is announced. Shall I play Sabonis to be on the safe side? I'll be honest, Graham. Like, if you can't keep up to date with news, you probably shouldn't be playing NBA DFS. Like, the biggest edge you can get in NBA DFS is being on top of news. So, like, if you're not going to be able to adjust for that news, you might just want to, like, I don't know, not even play. If I know that I'm not going to be able to pay attention to news, like, I just won't play for that night. I guess you can, though, if you want to just play it safe, just play Sabonis, I guess. I'm loving Plumlee as well tonight. God, dude, Mason Plumlee, I mean, he's one of these guys I just hate playing. But without PJ Washington, I think Mason Plumlee does benefit. I think he will see, increased minutes. But he feels priced right, like 6,500 on DraftKings. I don't think you're really getting much of a discount on Mason Plumlee. I think if Mason Plumlee was like 5,500, then he would look a lot better. But at 6,500, he's just one of those guys that, the price tag feels right. I don't think there's much value there, honestly. Thoughts on Westbrook, Monk, Batum, Giannis, Achua, LaMelo, Giddey, Zubac? Westbrook, Monk, Batum, Giannis, Achua. I think that's very solid, Brendan. I think that's a pretty good tournament lineup. I mean, you'll definitely have some low-owned guys in there. I think Zubac will be low-owned. I think LaMelo will be low-owned. You've got some chalk in there, but that's fine because you've got some low-owned pieces too to go with your chalk. Pretty solid lineup. Okay, yeah. So 5,900 on FanDuel for Mason Plumlee. That's a lot better, I would say. Mo Bamba or Capella on DK? Give me Mo Bamba if I had to choose one. I think Clint Capella is still like on a minutes limit. They said he was going to be on a minutes limit to start the season. I think, yeah, he hasn't played more than 27 minutes this season, so I wouldn't be going to Capella on this slate, to be honest with you, until we see him play more minutes. I'm making money playing it, but I have to be up early tomorrow, so might not be up. Your advice is always helpful for NBA. I'm glad to hear that, Graham. Glad to hear that, my man. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to play NBA DFS seriously and not be able to pay attention to news. Like, so with example, like last night, I mean, if you didn't adjust your lineups for the LeBron news, you probably lost. I mean, it was almost impossible to win last night if you didn't have like those Lakers guys. That's why paying attention to news, being able to adjust your lineups and adjusting your lineups after news comes out, that's like the most important part of NBA DFS. All right, if you got any last minute questions, you can throw them in chat. We're going to end the stream here shortly. We've been live for about 30 minutes or so. But if you got any last minute questions, I can answer those real quick before we end the stream. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button, guys. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Let's see here. Dude, the highest owned player, hold up. Right now, Malik Monk's the highest owned player on DraftKings. God damn. So Malik Monk, D'Anthony Melton, Giannis, all coming in with 40% plus ownership on DraftKings. That's crazy. And I was planning on playing all three of those guys. My call winning lineup has Westbrook plus LaMelo. Hey, I think Westbrook probably is in the winning lineup tonight. LaMelo we'll have to see. Like I said, if I don't play LaMelo, he's probably going to go off. But I do like LaMelo tonight still. Would you play Bledsoe or Rubio? I would play Bledsoe. with Darius Garland back and with him healthy now, I don't have any interest in Rubio at his price. So I would take Bledsoe there. Last year I learned DFS basketball and all in a day job, or last year I learned DFS basketball is an all-day job, way different from DFS football. That is very true, my man. I've said this before, like playing NBA DFS is literally a full-time job. Like you don't get any time off. You always have to pay attention. Like you can't just step away from your computer for a couple hours because you can miss out on news that's super important. That's the worst part about NBA, I would say, is that even after even after you're done making your lineups, you still have to like be on the computer. It's annoying, but it's part of the job, man, and it's what gives you an edge, I would say. All right, I'm gonna answer this last question from Kyle. Noah, you always help out with tough decisions. With that said, should I order Chinese or Italian? Italian all day, Kyle. All day. Get you some chicken Alfredo, get you some spaghetti. Eat up that Italian, baby. And some garlic bread, too. All right, boys. I'm out. Good luck tonight. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Prize Picks, sponsor of the stream. Use promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prize Picks. But good luck, fellas. Good luck tonight. Thanks for watching.